A new report is prompting safety concerns for millions of U.S. workers as experts say high-level officials who set equipment standards are corrupt for financial gain. One America's Jack Posobiec has more from Washington.
I'd like to welcome to One American News Mark Dennington. He is a safety expert specifically in fall prevention. And when I first heard about the issue that you were speaking out on, I was really interested to have you on, so I'd like to thank you for coming on One American News today.
Well, thank you.
Tell me, what is some of the major issue regarding fall prevention in the American workforce today?
The biggest problem that we have is a group. They call themselves ANSI. ANSI is a group of manufacturers and insurance companies who have actually got together and they didn't meet the federal standard. So they wrote their own standard far below the federal standard. And now they've been using the insurance companies that are involved with them to force the American contractors, the military and military contractors, to use equipment that's far below the minimum requirements for all the American workers.
So you're talking about workers and military that are being allowed to use substandard equipment,
yes.
And OSHA is not holding them to their own federal standard. Now, explain that to me. Why would OSHA not hold them to that standard? I thought that was the whole point of OSHA.
Right. Their job is to go and enforce the federal standard and to make sure, number one, that the equipment meets the requirements and that the people are properly using it. But the problem is that they're writing a lot of tickets, but they're not doing the enforcement part of it. They go after the fact and write a ticket when a person's been critically injured or killed. They're going to get a ticket. They're going to make a lot of money. But the bottom line is that they didn't do anything for preventing it the next problem. What happens with this equipment not meeting the requirements is you have to prove as an American worker that you are in proper use of a piece of equipment, that no matter how you use it, you cannot be in proper use of it. So you have that burden to prove that in a court case.
When you're talking about this types of equipment, what are some of the types of equipment we're talking about?
We're talking safety harnesses. They call these things SRLs. They actually have some that they put on harnesses, which is as illegal as you can possibly do.
What are the numbers we're talking about in terms of this? How many workers are being affected by this issue?
Well, we're losing 832 people a day to serious injury and 5 to 7 deaths every day. Now, when you add that up, that's a huge, massive number. We're looking at over 6 million people since 1994 have been killed and injured by using equipment in our investigation that has never met the requirements. It's not even close to meeting the federal requirements.
What is something that President Trump or the federal government could do to fix this situation?
They could drain the swamp and eliminate this problem for the American workers and go and make federal OSHA go and do their job. When we say draining the swamp for the American workers, the people are out there every day, this is the biggest problem that we have. It is the leading cause of death and injury in our nation, and it's 100% preventable. He's liberated our nation. He's a liberator, and that's what he does, and he has liberated us from so many problems that we have, and this is just another thing. This would be liberating the American worker from being held hostage, literally, to use equipment that doesn't meet the federal requirements.
Mark Dennington, safety expert in fall prevention. Thank you so much for being on with us today on One American News.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.